Hello there, welcome back to ViewPoint Christian Academy, where we have been empowering parents for Christian education since 1984 through our biblical individualized mastery-based approach. Very excited to bring you another Monday moment where we talk about all things Christian education. Today, we're going to discuss executive functioning and self-regulation in the educational program. Stay tuned. Executive functioning and self-regulation. What is it? Well, let's talk about it, let's define it, and let's see how it plays out in reality and application, not only for education, but for a life skill that's really important. And let me just add at the onset of this video that the reason I'm talking about this is I was inspired a little bit by a friend of mine, Angel Parish at Apt to Teach Tutoring. Excellent videos that she has produced on some of these topics. And she has been in the business of tutoring and working with young people, etc. for a long time. I'd encourage you to go check out her Facebook page, Apt to Teach. She's got some really good videos on there as well. But I want to talk about executive functioning and what it is, how it plays out in a student's life as a life skill, and how ViewPoint helps to build executive function, how our system works to help incorporate that skill into a student's life. So first, let's start by defining what is executive functioning. Well, executive functioning and self-regulation is really the ability of a person to take a large task and look at all that needs to be done, break it up into steps, and prioritize those steps so that everything is done the way that it needs to be done. In a student, how would that look? Well, a student will typically have, multiple subjects all going on at the same time with various assignments that are due at different dates, for instance. And when a child gets to college, this will also become a really big life skill as well, because once they get to college, they're going to be given a syllabus, and the teacher's going to say, this is due at this date, and then that's pretty much it. Then it's the responsibility of the student to organize their schedule in such a way that they make sure that they meet all of the assignments and complete it all when it needs to be completed. So how does that work, and what does that look like in a student? Well, if they have multiple subjects, multiple assignments that are due, a lot of times a student will just wait till the last minute, sound familiar, to do whatever needs to be done. Instead of planning ahead, oh, I have this assignment coming up, or I have this project that I have to do. And perhaps this project's going to take several days because I have to record certain things and do different things and conduct experiments. And they see it's due on this date. Well, instead of opening it up, looking at it, and then planning out their time so that they can get it done, typically what they will do is they'll wait till the day it's due or the night before it's due, and they'll work as hard as they can and try to cram it all in and get it done. Why? Because they are lacking in the executive functioning, the self-regulation skills that they need. So it's really important for them to begin to develop that as a student, to realize that I have these things that are due, and therefore they need to be done. Now, if the student, in our program, we understand teachers teach, students learn, right? It is the responsibility of the student to learn. The teacher cannot learn for the teacher, the parent cannot, nobody can learn for the student, right? Learning is the responsibility of the student. That's a universal axiom. That's a truth, right? So, unfortunately, a lot of times what happens is students and parents rely heavily upon the teacher to remind me, or they rely heavily upon the system, the online system or whatever, just send me a reminder. And those are effective. The problem is that the student needs to begin to learn how to build a schedule for themselves. They need to learn how to begin to bring their world into order and control their schedule to have that executive function. And realize I need to do this first because if I wait, it's going to, I have to prioritize. Two very important things. Over the years, I have really talked to students over and over and over again about the importance of two things in regards to executive functioning that we'll get into in just a moment. But let's talk about this real quickly before we talk about those two things. How does this play out in real life? How can executive functioning as a skill that a student might learn, how will that play out to a real life skill that they can take with them throughout the rest of their life? Well, it really does. Let's think about this on the job. On the workplace. Let's say somebody wants to start a small business. They're going to have some really good, strong executive functioning skills, because they're going to have to realize, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that, and they're going to need to prioritize their goals so that they can achieve their ultimate objective. Or how about on a regular job? The boss gives you a task to do. If you can look at that task and break it down into its parts and prioritize and do what needs to be done in the correct order, you're going to be in good shape. Now, it may be as simple as just following a checklist. You're at McDonald's and they say, this is the job, you have to make the hamburgers, but they want you to follow the checklist, right? They actually break it out for you. Can you follow a checklist? Can you regulate yourself enough to do things in the proper order? To prioritize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Well, you need to be able to do that, whether you're working as your own boss or whether you're working as an employee at a business that follows a system. You need to have that skill. How about in personal finances? Boy, this is a skill that is severely lacking in a lot of people. Executive functioning and self-regulation in regards to personal finances. Do you have a long-term objective in your finances? And are you able to break that objective down into steps that you can follow every week, every month? It's called a budget, right? Can you prioritize your spending so that you can achieve your goals and achieve your objectives? That's just an example of how, yeah, executive functioning and self-regulation are really, really important skills. Well, what does ViewPoint do to help our students with executive functioning skills? So we have two charts that we use that are really helpful in prioritizing and scheduling. And the first is the star chart or the progress chart. We call it a star chart or a progress chart. We call it a star chart because we give students stars to put on them. So in our program, the students have 10 to 12 units per year that are finished. Now, if you get a thick textbook and you're supposed to work through that whole textbook throughout the year, a lot of times a student without the proper executive functioning skills is going to look at it and say, oh man, it's going to take me forever to do it. And they'll just look at it, they'll get discouraged and put it away. However, a student who knows, hey, look, if I take that and I work it, now the old saying, right, you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Say, look, I know that's a big task, but if I break it down, I can get it done. So this yearly star chart, you've got 4 quarters broken up for the year, 9 weeks each quarter, approximately 36 weeks, right? Gets you about 180 days. 36 times 5 gets you about 180 days for a school year. So the idea is that I know I have to complete 10 to 12 units in the year. So each quarter I should have 2 or 3 indicators that I have finished a unit in, a unit in 2 units in math, 3 units in math. By the end of the semester, if I'm online and I got 10 units, I should have finished 5 by here. So this is helping me track my progress. Boy, this is a really valuable tool in helping the student to see where they are, set priorities, and work towards a goal. This is a really valuable tool. So we use that. But probably the most valuable tool that we offer are our vision cards. What does a vision card do? How is it valuable? The vision card takes the year's objective and breaks it down into bite-sized goals every day of the week for the student to see and achieve, and to realize that if I will do this, if I will regulate myself by a daily requirement and fulfilling those daily requirements, I can achieve my ultimate objective for the year and get it all done, right? So these are there to help the student build. Now, too many people are like, yeah, I don't need those vision cards. Yeah, I don't need that. No. You need those vision cards. I don't care who you are or where you are. I don't care if you're the President of the United States. You're going to have a to-do list. You're going to have your day's requirements. The work that you need to do is all going to be written down. It's going to be broken out in detail. You are going to have that. You're the head of a company, a CEO. You need a to-do list. If you are the bottom of the totem pole worker at a business, you are going to have a to-do list, and you need to be able to work your way through that list. If you can work your way through that list, you can move your way up the ladder. It is a very important life skill. So, should they use vision cards? Yes. Why? Because it's helping to build executive functioning. It's helping them to set daily goals and helping them to say, this is what I need to do to achieve my objective. And it helps them to set priorities in order to get it done. And you can even take the week and realize, look, I've got a doctor's appointment on this day, so I'm going to have to prioritize this subject because I'm going to lose some time here and I have to work my way around there. So that is the objective. Is it important? Yes, executive functioning skills are super important. Hey, Check out the links that I have included in here. Article from Harvard. There's a video by that good friend of mine, Angel Parish, at Apt to Teach. This is a really important thing for you to help incorporate not only in your child's education program, but in their regular life. Give them a task and help them to break it apart and get it done. And follow the steps that need to be stepped. Create steps, follow those so they can get it done. Bring their life into organization and prioritization. I hope this has been a blessing to you. You have a great week. God bless.